What is up, y'all? Welcome back. 400 Legend time. We got some range loads out here. We got a whole bunch of them, actually. 105 of them in front of me. We have 2 different Duramag magazines and a chronograph. We're going to get some information today. We want to know how range loads perform in the 180 grain and 200 grain loadings, because those are very common 40 caliber bullets that we can hand load for the 400 Legend. There's not much ammunition out for it. We need something to play with at the range, so we're going to go through a couple recipes real quick. We're going to get what the chronograph says about them, make sure that they function, and actually we're going to try to run 105 rounds through this Bear Creek without any hiccups. We might get a hiccup or two because of a magazine, maybe on the last round hold open or something like that, but for the most part, we want to see if this thing can eat 105 rounds without a hiccup. Stay tuned. What we have here is a hot, muggy, nasty day with mosquitoes everywhere, but that's not the important thing. What we really have here is a Bear Creek Arsenal 16-inch 400 Legend upper on top of our Palmetto State Armory lower. It's their basic A2 lower. We can call it a Frankenstein if you want. It's just an upper and a lower smacked together, nothing more than that, with some Magpul parts and, like I said, Duramag magazines, a Sig Sauer red dot upper. I want this to be a combat style 400 Legend. I'm really going for that to be the powerhouse cartridge in an AR that we can use, maybe home defense, maybe suppress, and use it for hunting and other things fun. But we can't have fun, we can't have range time if we don't have good ammo for it. So what we call this thing here is, at the turkey range, we call this thing the El Cheapo. Not the El Chapo, but the El Cheapo. We want to make sure El Cheapo can run today. So, like I said, there's nothing special about it. It's got an M-lock rail, a foregrip on it. You're not going to see anything crazy out of us today except for smacking this steel plate over and over again. It's got a few pits in it. Well, hopefully we're not going to pit it too bad, but let's just get right into shooting. Nothing special here. Round after round, we got a 5-round magazine and a 15-round magazine. We're just going to load them up and shoot and report it to you. And I just have to point out something real quick that just came up for the most part. These are 400 Legend mags from Duramag. I pretty much call them Dur mags anymore, but that's the 10-round one, and then you can tell the 5-round limited one because it has a little yellow hole at the bottom instead of the black hole. Anyway, when you try to put 5 rounds in these, and you notice these are definitely short enough to fit, these are 400 Legend rounds, we get 3, we get 4, and then try to get that 5th one in there properly, and it's just not happening. We tried it over and over again. It's something that kind of just started happening. I don't understand that, but good job, Dur mag. All right, so we put 5 rounds in the 10-round mag just to get a few over the chronograph. We do want to test the velocity real quick. We have the 200 grain round in here. I believe that's a Cam Pro bullet. It's a full metal jacket. We have it loaded with H110, and we have 29 grains of that H110. 29 grains even. You'll notice it is a pretty short overall length, but we are using handgun bullets. So let's see if that feeds right off the rip. If we go ahead and do a normal charge in a safe direction, I believe it fed. Let's go ahead and get the chrono shot real quick. You ready, camera guy?
Yep.
2124.4. That's pretty good. I like to see about 2200, 2250 out of the factory loads, but these are hand loads. So we'll give a couple more confirmation shots. 2007. Almost missed over that shoulder. 2063. 2096. And 2108. The good news is they did hold that bolt open, cycled all the way through. We got lockback. Awesome. Well, that's pretty darn thick steel. It's AR-500, and we are putting a slight little thumbprint in each one of those hits. I'm going to go ahead and keep hitting it, but yeah, it will wreck your steel if you get much closer. I'm going to get a little bit closer, but the 400 Legend is no joke. We have 10 rounds loaded up right now. Let's just let them rip. All right, 10 rounds in. Drop the bolt. It doesn't want to send that one all the way home without just at least a little bit of help. Hopefully it cycles the rest of them. Nope, we have a jam up there. You can feel it when it doesn't properly go into battery. We got most of them to run, but that was not a clean run for sure. Let's do it again and see if it gets any better. I don't know what might change. Nope, still has a little bit of a hang up right there. We have to relieve that pressure and give it a little bit of help. It could just be the overall length is not hitting that feed ramp properly. I can't blame the gun for that at the moment, but it's between bullet geometry, cartridge overall length, and then the magazine, the way the follower sets that round to go up into the next one. It just might not be a very compliant round with this particular chamber. We will move on and try the other bullet profile, the flat point, here in a second, but for now, I just want to confirm or deny that these things work for sure. That's pretty promising. That's a 10-round magazine. We did not have bolt hold open. It was promising that we made it through, but we did not lock back. All right, 10 more, and they are all knocked back like they need to be, set to the back. I don't know what happens under recoil if that changes, but got to help that one in there a little bit. I don't think that one reset. Nope, you can definitely feel it when it doesn't. We have a little bit of a bolt overriding that cartridge right there. But then it jumps right up, and you can pretty much get it to go into battery. All right, there we go. We have lock open. So nothing perfect yet, but we're kind of in the middle ground right there. All right, camera guy's up. He wants to have a turn at this. Let's see if he can make this thing work just a little bit better than me. The rooster's trying to approve. And we had one not totally go in there. We have lockback. All right, 10 more. I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit, but if the gun jams, I can't do anything about that. But, oh, I don't know what happened there. We have a trigger, went ahead and fell, but it did not hit anything significant, at least. We do not have a round in the chamber, so it failed to pick one up. Yep. And it failed to lock back on the last one. We were able to run it just a little bit faster, but it doesn't matter because we have hiccups in between. All right, that's that 55 rounds. I think we need to let it cool down a little bit, and then we need to switch ammos. All right, honest reality talk break here real quick before we change over to this ammunition that I have right here. The gun's not doing too bad. We really have to take into consideration the short profile of the cartridge overall. It's not your typical rifle style round, and that was a problem that 350 Legend had coming out of the gate. It still has a problem with that every now and then with certain rounds. We do have problems with 400 Legend in general with the soft point, power point bullets that they make. I think that might be part of the problem with gun companies not really getting on the 400 Legend right now. They don't want to fail, so don't pick on Bear Creek about this right now. If we have anybody to pick on, it's me for making ammunition with handgun bullets, but that's in the books. We're supposed to be able to at least try this in single shot rifles and stuff like that. It'd be nice to feed it through the ARs. As far as the magazines, it's just one magazine choice we have right now, so we really can't try anything else. We don't have any followers or anything. So we're working with what we have to work with, but the rifle itself is working fine. I'm not trying to sit here and defend Bear Creek Arsenal, but I don't want people going in the comments and just trashing Bear Creek Arsenal because we're running ammunition that is not ideal for the platform. I think the gun's actually doing pretty good. All right, this is a 180 grain round. It has a flat point just like any other 40 caliber you would see in a 10 millimeter, 40 Smith & Wesson, something like that, 40 Super. So we'll load up 10, 10, 10, 10, 10 until we get through the 50. We'll put the first 5 over the chronograph and see what kind of velocities we're getting. All right, the first 5 will be through the Garmin, but I just want to show you this bolt closing. Again, we're just having a weird hang up right there. It's almost wanting to do it. It just needs the tiniest little nudge. It's not sitting on the bolt face exactly properly. The bottom of that cartridge is not resting within the little nest that it wants to be able to be pushed in. So as soon as we relieve that pressure just a little bit, you might have seen it kind of falls down to where it needs to be, and then boom, it goes into battery. I'm pretty sure it's all the way in there. We can pull it out, let it go a little farther. All right, let's get some velocity. Are you ready, camera guy?
Yep.
We have 2298. 2344, And we don't have one getting all the way into the chamber right there. So let me try to fix that up a little bit. I think we did. And I'll tell you the recipe for this here in a second. We have 2313. Definitely feels different going through this gun for sure. 2314, you can feel it's a faster cartridge, and shot 5 is 2318. So that average of 2317 you see in the middle of the screen, I'll have it up in the corner somewhere too. But that's what you're getting out of the 180 grain. That might also be a Cam Pro bullet, and that has 31 grains of H110. All right, 5 more in the magazine. I don't think that one locked. Nope. You can totally feel it. Nope, didn't lock back on that one either. Now, according to the data I have online, I could load these hotter, but I'm not going to. They could have something to do with the bolt holding back. I'm not really sure, but I don't want to make these things super hot. Like I said, I was looking for something fun for the range, and I didn't want to go ahead and experiment with how high a pressure we can get. It's a very capable cartridge no matter what. So I think I'm going to keep it right here for now. I might try for reliability at some point for a bolt hold open to go really high, but right now we're not even getting proper cycling. So let's try again with 10. All right, 10 more. Nope, see, it just stops at a different place every time. Just doesn't quite want to get that head right there into the bolt face. Good camera guy?
Yep.
And you can just tell, you can just feel it. It doesn't have all that stuff going on in the buffer tube. Ah! And we did not hold open on that. All right, let's try it again. My goal is to get through this ammo no matter what, so it's going to get shot. All right, that has been one of the most successful actual firings we've had, but we still did not get bolt hold open. That could just be the velocity, the power I made this ammo. It's just not enough to go ahead and click it back like it's supposed to, just like that. So again, can't blame the gun. It would be the mag or the ammo. All right, camera guy's ready to go. He wants to put 10 more rounds to there. He's got to relieve me a little bit. This is absolutely miserable out here today. You can probably see the haze. If you take a close enough look, especially towards the beginning of the video, we had a pretty good vapor trail going behind these rounds. So camera guy's going to try to see if 10 can go through smoothly. 10 went through smoothly, and we had a lockback. Good job. Congratulations, camera guy. You have the best sequence on film to date. All right, camera guy had such good luck, we're going to have him do it again. Plus, it's awfully hot out here, and I don't even really want to shoot guns today, so. There we go. Kind of fight to get one in there just a little bit. All right, he's got it loaded and locked up. And see how she runs. Damn, camera guy. Oops, I said a damn. I said we better say darn there. We got camera guy with a lockback, and it ran all the way. So camera guy had the best 2 runs. We might be like breaking this whole situation in or something like that. All right, so what do you guys think? Other than camera guy should probably be doing the reliability testing for us because it seems to like him a lot better. I think she did pretty good. Again, that's a very short cartridge overall length as far as trying to leap into that chamber. And then there's a whole question about what kind of a cut is in that chamber. We're made to accept hunting rounds for the most part with 400 Legend. We're trying to put handgun bullets in there with that flat face. We have plenty of other projectiles to test for this type of reliability, but we did put 105 rounds through this gun today. I think altogether it probably has about 125 rounds, 120, something like that. So this is part of more extensive testing that we didn't even talk about yet, and that's because some Call of Duty cowboy couch warrior, he decided one time to say that this build, or this whatever you want to call it, would not last past 200 rounds. It's that big of a piece of junk. We're definitely going to put that to the challenge. I don't think this thing's going to self-destruct after 200 rounds. We'll get it apart and take a look at it now and see how the insides look after this, clean it up, get it ready for the next test. But do you guys have any suggestions of what I should try as far as projectile next time? Leave it in the comment section if you do. Let me know what you think about how that bolt tries to grab the cartridge but doesn't quite get it centered to go in. Is there something that I should change or do about that? Is that magazine follower angle? What is that? Let me know in the comment section. A lot of you guys are really good at the whole gunsmithing thing, a lot better than I am. I just know that I want an AR-400 Legend that works reliably, so we just got to find the right projectile, in my opinion. The gun wants to eat the ammo just doesn't want to go into the gun. So between Palmetto State Armory, Bear Creek Arsenal, and Duramag, we're trying to get this all to work together, and then my hand loads. But we did try this rifle out with factory ammunition, and it doesn't like all of the factory stuff from Winchester either. Soft points are not a good idea for this feeding situation in any AR, in my opinion. The polymer tips are significantly better. The ones that have the actual tip on them that's plastic, they feed pretty good, but they're not cheap. We got to get the projectiles, Winchester, we got to get those projectiles on the shelf so that we can hand load those. Overall, hope you enjoyed this video. It's just information, more information on 400 Legend. That's what we like to put out to you guys. Again, let us know in the comment section what you think. Thank you for watching this video and hope to see you at the next one. And until then, stay safe, have fun, and keep shooting. Powerful 40 caliber stuff.